World of Warcraft in 2013. Here we go.
Dragonflight is the 9th major expansion from World of Warcraft, which released on the 29th of November 2022. This expansion brought a new continent to the game with 4 massive zones, a new feature called Dragon Riding, which is basically WoW's version of the Griffin from Guild Wars 2, a huge revamp to the profession system, solo queue ranked PvP, brand new talent trees, an in-game edit UI mode, and a new race/class, the Drakthir Evoker. In terms of theme, Dragonflight has a more traditional fantasy style compared to the previous expansion, Shadowlands, as it's set on—
I think the style is like, it's much more like WoW. I feel like the zones remind me more of WoW than the Shadowlands zones did. And I don't think that's necessarily a better thing. Like, for example, Revendreth and Ardenweald were totally different than anything that we had seen in WoW before, but I think that was a good thing.
The Dragon Isles, and features more familiar
I think
characters
it's
from
about
the game's
design.
lore. For many people, including myself, the biggest appeal to returning to WoW for Dragonflight was the shift in design philosophy to make the game much more alt-friendly. No borrowed power systems, no mandatory legendaries, no AP grinding. In this video, I'll be giving you my first impressions of Dragonflight as someone who quit WoW all the way back in Legion. Will this be the expansion that brings me back? Find out after sponsor. Albion Online is one of the best sandbox MMORPGs.
I've actually thought about playing this game unironically. Like, a lot of people have been really positive about it, and they've said it was fun, and I've thought about playing this game.
Out right now, and it's also a game I've covered on the channel numerous times throughout the years, with me personally ranking it in the A tier for my end of 2021 MMO tier list. Albion has just dropped a massive new update called Beyond the Veil, which brings with it a new—
Yeah, no, the graphics in this game are not very good. It's about the gameplay and the systems for the game. And the game, I looked it up on Steam, and it has a surprisingly stable population.
Magical realm to explore known as the Mists. This area is designed exclusively for solo and duo players looking for a challenge in an unpredictable zone without the possibility of getting killed by Zergs. The Mists offers a range of both PvP and PvE content, a brand new city, Brazilian, which has no fixed location, Mists player islands, as well as fantastical new monsters, 3 new armor sets, new abilities, a rework to the Roads of Avalon, new pristine resources, and quality of life updates to the guild system. The thing I personally love about Albion Online is that it's designed in a way so that every update adds to the game whilst not making old content irrelevant.
That's really good.
It doesn't matter if you're a solo player, a Zerg player, or just want to chill with a handful of friends. The game has multiple types of content for everyone, and I'll likely be revisiting Albion in the future soon to check out the new update for myself. Click the link in the description below to join the highly social, living, breathing sandbox world of Albion Online today.
Yeah, it's very much an open world sandbox MMO with like loot PvP. I think it's like full loot PvP even, or like partial loot PvP. It's very hardcore, but I kind of would want to try it out just to see what it's like. Big damage.
Dragonflight Day 1. I turn on the stream and like a donkey I had the wrong audio settings for my VOD. 8 hours of footage, all with a muted mic. Nice job. In my last video I mentioned that I'll be maining Druid this expansion. Well, I changed my mind. I tried out Priest for the first time during the pre-patch and I loved every spec. Also, as a Blood Elf female, the slot mod potential was a defining factor. We jumped on the airship to the Dragon Isles and began our adventure. Starting out fairly standard WoW questing.
You can play a Death Knight or a
introduced us to the
warrior?
island, kill, collect, talk, gather. We get introduced to the Dragon Scale Expedition faction, and the UI for reputations now works as a renown system. Something I found odd—
I think that the new reputation system is an improvement over the old one.
—was how much cooler the actual NPC Drakthir are compared to the ones we get as a playable race.
True. So fucking true. Yes, the NPC Drakthir are big, beefy, muscular, and the ones that we get are these little simpy bitch boys.
The ones on the Dragon Isles, such as Sendrax, look badass, absolute unit Giga Chad dragon people. But the ones we get to play as look like pathetic furry bait scaly monsters. I feel like it'd be a missed opportunity.
Pathetic furry bait scaly monsters. I wonder why they look that way. I wonder why.
See if Blizzard doesn't later add the Giga Chad version of Drakthir as an allied race later in the expansion. Midway through level 61, or about an hour into the MSQ, I finally unlocked my dragon riding mount.
Oh, bro, he never talked to the guy. He never talked to the dwarf, bro. He's like, fuck that shit, I'm flying around.
Going into Dragonflight, I saw the trailer about dragon riding, but I didn't look too much into it.
He does.
I thought it'd be a budget version of Guild Wars 2's Griffin mount. Whilst it basically is the same thing, the momentum-based flying mechanics turned out to be a lot more fun than I expected it to be.
They didn't suck as much
I didn't expect to have to manage the mount's stamina, or fly in a way to recharge that stamina mid-flight. There's a surprising amount of polish gone into the dragon riding, and as far as the launch experience goes, this was the
You'd hope there's a lot of polish in it. It's one of the only things that the game has that's new.
Single biggest feature that made the leveling feel different this expansion when compared to others.
You hope
Once
that
I got
shit's
used
good.
to the dragon riding, I installed an add-on and spent about 90 minutes flying around collecting all the glyphs to max out my flying.
That's the way you play the game, bro. You download an add-on, the plugin to Weak Auras, and then the add-on is also needed for your Handy Notes plugin that you download from the other website that will then show you all of the locations onto your overlay on your map that will then finally, oh, you need TomTom as well to tell you exactly where the arrow to go is. And then finally, after you have all of these things into the game, you can finally be able to play it.
Sure, I could have leveled the way Blizzard intended
Oh
and
my
collect
God.
these glyphs through discovery and exploration, but I didn't feel like maxing out my flying early on took away anything from my experience. Once I maxed out the flying, I sat next to a dwarf looking off into the distance. He basically told me a long story, and
This, in my opinion, is a very underrated W by Blizzard. This quest, I think, is probably one of the biggest Ws Blizzard has ever had. And the reason why is it's a quest line that's completely unnecessary. Nobody needs to do it. But because it was good, everybody promotes, oh yeah, you should do this quest line. You should try it out. It reminds me a lot of like, oh, you should do a quest line or something like this in Elden Ring. So like, if you can create a system where the players are telling each other, oh, you should do this quest line, it's really fun, rather than the game putting some sort of like necessary reward at the end of it, that's good.
this quest seems to be designed to make the player chill and enjoy the view. I did my first leveling dungeon about halfway through level 62, we absolutely steamrolled it in less than 10 minutes, and at level 64 I finished the first zone's MSQ, moving on to the second zone. 4 or 5 hours into the leveling process of Dragonflight, I noticed that I didn't find the questing as tedious as other expansions. I think the fact that you can just jump on your mount and zip across the zone in seconds makes the questing more enjoyable.
I feel like all of the questing and all of the expansions isn't really that tedious. I feel like the last expansion that I genuinely did not enjoy questing in was Mists of Pandaria. I never liked questing in Mists of Pandaria. I thought it was dog shit. I thought Legion was great. WoD was fucking S tier. It was probably the best. BFA sucked, but it sucked because you lost all of your your Legion quality of life things. So like, yeah, maybe BFA was, I would say, yeah, never mind. BFA was worse than Mists of Pandaria. Yes, I hated BFA more. But then Shadowlands was fine.
Number 2, the Yanaran Plains. This area is exactly the type of aesthetic I like in my MMO zones. Colourful, open zone, vibrant, lots of wildlife. Basically reminded me of a modern version of Nagrand. Fairly standard kill and collect quests here, but once...
Personally, it gave me really strong vibes of Crossroads with like the thunder and fucking like, this is like some straight up fucking orcs and humans Warcraft 3 horde energy. It was so good. I love this zone. It's my favorite zone.
Style of quest that did stand out to me was the ones where you had the choice to ride along with a caravan of NPCs to the next location, listening to stories and taking in the environment, or you could just jump on your mount, dash to the next area, and skip all of it.
Isn't it crazy how whenever you give players the option to engage in lore and content, players engage in lore and content if the lore and content is good? Isn't that just so crazy? Who could have expected that?
I like that Blizzard gave players the option to do either. I feel more open to actually listening to stories like this when it's optional rather than something mandatory.
You know, I was thinking the exact same thing.
I ended day 1 of streaming at level 65 because I was starting to lose my voice, but I was having so much fun playing on day 1 that I actually logged into my Shaman ult and leveled that to 63 off stream.
God damn.
All in all, I played the game for about 12 hours on day 1. Probably the longest gaming session I've had in WoW since the launch of Legion or Warlords of Draenor.
Wow.
So the game must have been doing something right this time around. Day 2, this time
I feel like I've never had trouble wasting time in WoW. Like, I had 12-hour gaming sessions in Korthia, okay? Like, it was some depression hours, but I did it.
I fixed my audio issues and decided to stream on YouTube for the first time. I basically just followed the MSQ from 65 to 70. Just questing feels so fast now because since I unlocked all of the dragon glyphs, I'm just zipping from spot to spot. Like,
I really hope that soon Twitch is able to make the quality options better. I think the quality options on Twitch are just not good enough. And it's just like they need to have like that next, like the equivalent of like the Unreal 5 upgrade for like bitrate. Because right now, bitrate is, like I could increase my bitrate and stream on YouTube with like 20k bitrate, but a lot of people wouldn't be able to watch it. I hope that they're able to do it soon.
Within seconds. So far my pre-patch gear has just been carrying me. I'll show you guys my probably my most rare mount, and this was gifted to me on maybe like my first few live streams ever. This mount's probably worth a lot of money. Back when I first
the cock
got it, it was worth.
Wait, he doesn't have the Amani Battle Bear? Are you fucking kidding me? This guy wouldn't even survive 3 rounds in my mount offs. How the fuck do you not have the Amani Battle Bear? What are you doing? Oh my god. This guy's gotta start farming mounts.
Like $400, but that was years ago. That was back in Warlords of Draenor or Mists of Pandaria. The Magic Rooster. Is this a rare mount now?
Yeah, it is.
Maybe they're going to give this away at the next next Twitch drop. Few grand. Wow. Yeah, a viewer gave it to me when I first started streaming. I still remember his name, Murtog. What's this?
There it is.
Another dragon riding mount. I didn't know you get like different ones like this. I wonder if each zone has its own dragon riding mount. Okay, let's try the new dragon. Yeah, I like him. He's got a...
The green one's slower. Nobody likes the green one. The green one, like, I would say like power rankings, red is the best because it's the fastest. Bronze is the second best because it's smaller, it's more aerodynamic. Blue is third best because like I just think that one's kind of cool, and then green is the slowest one, so it's not very good.
Much shorter wingspan. So soon we should be, yes, we're now off to the new zone, the Azure Span, and
Yeah, I
this
don't have Black Drake
zone,
yet.
if I remember from
Whenever I do,
flying
I'll use that
over
all
it,
the
it
time.
looks a lot like the Grizzly Hills, so I'm looking forward to questing in this one. Level 66, nice.
I like the
Cozy
music
colours,
on this zone.
forest. Looks like we're about to enter a modern version of Grizzly Hills. Actually not bad. The game doesn't look too horrible, like graphically. It's still got like a good style to it. Definitely
I think that
enjoying the
That's
visual.
not a good example. I think that the visuals, one example of like great visuals in WoW is like, let me go ahead. I'm just going to show it on the map. I'm not going to show it right now. It's like in the Broken Isles, whenever you're in Suramar and you're on this road and you're looking up and you can see like the temple, the Tomb of Sargeras, like Suramar and the Nighthold, and then you can also see Dalaran in the distance. Oh my god, it's so fucking good. So, like, yeah, some of the views and just, like, the way the game looks aesthetically is very good. And I'm glad they're focusing more on that.
Walls of this expansion more than the previous two. Okay, let's go check out the next zone, the Azure Span.
Show it, please.
It's quite
you guys
interesting.
Haven't seen that? Yeah. I mean, really? I feel like I'll show it afterwards, okay? I don't want to interrupt the video just to show you guys a certain area. I'll show it to you guys after this.
Like, in previous expansions, if the game told me I'd need to get from here all the way over here, I'd be like, oh, it's going to take so long. Why is it making me travel so far? But in this expansion, like, traveling is active gameplay rather than numlock in one direction. So it doesn't really feel too bad. It takes like a quarter of the time as before. Something I wish you could do with the dragon riding is, like, fly upside down, like, do a loop. I think that'd be cool. Like, maybe...
I think that you should be able to do... Like, you can kind of do a barrel roll, but it's not really a barrel roll. Yeah. You have to be able to do barrel rolls.
Like give you the ability to build up momentum and then like do like a backflip. That's something they should add. The positives about this expansion is they've added a few things that will remain relevant and that are good updates that lay a foundation for future expansions, like the dragon riding thing. There's no way the next expansion can't have dragon riding. You can't allow people to have this much fun with mounts and then take it away. There's a lot of like good things that they've added with this expansion that will be relevant good things that will continue on into the next expansion.
This is shit that I had said, because like imagine if every single system that they had taken out of the game, like whether it's the Netherlight Crucible, artifact weapons, conduits, covenants, fucking Azurite armor. Imagine if every single one of those systems was something that instead of that was like a core gameplay mechanic that now is in the game for the future. That would be fucking amazing. And the game would be so much better than it is now. I hope they keep doing that. Like PoE would be system bloat. No, it wouldn't be system bloat, because like I'm not saying these needs to be like, I'm not saying it needs to be like PoE. I am not saying that. I'm not saying we have to have like 7 different layers of customization. I'm saying like other things that would be equivalents to that function the same as dragon riding.
Previous expansions, they didn't really add stuff like that.
I love
like that
PoE
all
though.
of my the every quest's like giving me upgrades now. Finally passed the
I don't know what to
pre-patch
play
gear.
this league.
101k health, let's go. I see like groups of NPCs. Throw mail.
at
The
them.
hero of Azeroth defeated Sargeras.
Yeah.
Defeated the jailer, and now I'm a mail boy.
Yeah.
We certainly fell off, didn't we? Oh, level 67. See if we've unlocked something substantial. I really love this new talent tree. Okay, let's go with this one. Go this direction.
Another talent
this is a
tree
cool
W.
mount. We're all standing on a book. Oh, I get to control it now. Okay. Oh, this is fun. This is a cool quest. Zipping around, one-shotting everything.
By the way, I can just go over there right now on my Prot Warrior and just solo all these mobs without even trying. Like, it's not even a big deal. Like, I didn't even need to have the quest item for this. I could just do it if I wanted to. Do it? Remind me after this, I'll do it.
We have this power, though. Why can't we just do this for the rest of the leveling? Surely we could wipe out Razagath with this power.
Yeah, just get him out of there.
Okay, let's do a dungeon. Brackenhide Hollow. Feels like we're in a fucking Mythic Plus race right now. Like the pace this tank's going. I'm like trying to read the chat. I'm trying to chill. I'm trying to enjoy the dungeon for the first time. Apparently not. I guess sometimes as the healer, you need to adapt to the tank. It's one of those.
Of course. It's just natural. Healing is a simp role. It is. The only thing that you do is you help other people play the game. That's all. You don't even play the game. All you do is you just help other people play the game. That's it.
Situations.
Man, shut up.
I think we got a decent amount of
bitch.
XP for that. Any upgrades? No. Oh, so even though I maxed out my dragon riding, I'm still unlocking new dragon riding abilities through the actual MSQ. That's cool. Level 68. I'm in desperate need of another coffee. 2 levels to go. The Highland Drake. Okay, this is my favorite looking Drake. He looks cute, doesn't he? Dragon customization. I've unlocked a lot of new things. Yeah, that's cool. So
I don't even, like, this is going to be what I'm going to use, okay? So I don't really give a fuck what the other levels of customization are, because that's what I'm going to use, and I'm never going to think about any other dragon besides that.
This one I need Gladiator PvP
just get
rank for Dragonflight, and I unlock that. That's
Just
probably like the coolest looking dragon you can possibly get in the game.
Yes,
it's going to
it
be
is.
fun to collect
Yes, it
all
is.
of this stuff throughout the
Absolutely.
expansion. Okay, on to the final zone. Oh, level 69. Nice. At level 69, I got to do one of the coolest quests I've seen from Blizzard in years. It basically mindfucks you by showing you the intro cutscene of your race from level 1. Then you're getting
Oh, so this is what it is if you're Horde.
teleported through time to various locations in the world. Silvermoon, Dragonblight,
This
where
was
half
so
the mobs
good.
were half Deathwing, half Murloc. And finally, we got to see an alternate future where the old gods took over. Really cool quest with a great cutscene at the end.
Yeah, it is.
Aside from that, another style of quest I enjoyed during the leveling of Dragonflight was the dragon racing quests. It's basically Spyro the Dragon. Fly through the rings and you get a time rating from bronze to gold depending on how fast you finish the course.
Well, we didn't get
Each
the green
zone
boy.
has like 6 or 7 courses, and I loved doing these as a way to break up the kill and collect, with some of them actually being a little bit challenging.
Oh, gotta go in there.
Level 70.
There it
There
is,
is
finally.
Ding. It's been Quite an enjoyable
Damn,
leveling
that took
experience
11
compared
minutes.
to previous expansions. Not been too painful at all. Once I hit level 70, I continued playing WoW off stream, and after 4 days of very casual play since the expansion launched, I'd cleared all of the Mythic Zero dungeons,
Smart.
had a full set of PvP gear
There
on
it
the
is.
Priest, and was basically just chilling and
So
farming
he's part of the
transmogs.
problem.
I've seen some people who were complaining that they were basically done with everything after only 2 or 3 days. They'd got all the gear they needed from Mythic Zero, they'd farmed the reputation gear, and
I think that's good because they're like, the thing is, the kind of person that complains on the internet that there's nothing to do in WoW because they've already farmed every Mythic Plus dungeon 2 times, they consume content so much faster than an average player does that it will take an average player 2 or 3 weeks to get to that same point.
they're just waiting for the 2-week delay period for Mythic Plus to finally
And that's a
be
good
open.
thing.
For me personally, I
Being
can't
able to be done with content is totally fine.
understand why these people are complaining that they're bored. They're basically playing WoW as their only game and they want to put infinite hours into it. In previous expansions, this was kinda possible, but Dragonflight is way more casual friendly, which I definitely prefer. I've never seen WoW as the kind of game that should be an infinite grind. Most WoW players are casual. If I can get all my weekly shit
And they're also old. That's another big factor. If you're looking for a girlfriend, play Final Fantasy XIV. If you're looking for a mom, play WoW.
done within a day or two, then have time to chill on alts or play other games, then I'm happy. At the end of the day, you can't please everyone. If the game's more casual friendly, you get the people who have nothing better to do all day complain, whereas if the game's too grindy, then the casuals complain. For me, after 3 expansions of the game being super alt unfriendly, Dragonflight so far is a breath of fresh air.
Sure is.
The fact that there's no borrowed power or FOMO content that forces me to log in every day means I can finally play WoW on my own terms. I can play multiple alts, go out farming mounts and transmog, have fun in BGs, and practice my dragon riding whilst waiting for queues to pop. Something else
Imagine playing the game for fun. Isn't that nuts? Wow.
to mention, the artsy
Oh! Sounds like one of my neighbors got a drum set. Oh, that's nice. Great.
team has smashed it out of the park with Dragonflight. When you're in the
Lovely.
new main city, Valdrakken, and you look up, the skybox is littered with dragons. The view
I
distance
love this. I think that's so cool how you can see all the dragons out there. No, I'll buy a house? No, I'm totally fine with it. It doesn't really bother me. Like, the only thing I don't like are barking dogs. I don't care about someone who wants to play drums for a while. Like, bro, it's not a big deal.
also seems a lot further than the last time I played too, so visually, I've been very impressed with the game.
Sounds like I'm stuck in combat in New World.
Flying through the world with the UI turned off actually looks quite nice now. Not bad for a 20-year MMO. Other than that, I've found the music to be top tier. I love that you can collect different appearances to customize your dragons. I can't wait to try out the solo queue ranked PvP, and the new talent trees have been awesome so far. I
Yeah, I
never
would agree with all
expected to
that.
be able to have fun in World of
100.
Warcraft again. I hated both Battle for Azeroth and Shadowlands during the launch weeks. I just wasn't interested. I honestly thought I was completely done with World of Warcraft as a whole. And whilst it's definitely too soon to say if Dragonflight has brought me back to stick around,
I would say for me, I'm playing the game less, but I'm enjoying it more. Like, I like the game more now and I'm playing it more. Or sorry, I'm playing it not as much, but I'm enjoying the time that I'm playing it.
I already feel like I've gotten my money's worth with a solid 40 hours of enjoyment in the first week. I put out a tweet a few days ago saying that after 5
still
days
having a lot
I'm
of
still
fun.
having
What the
fun
fuck?
with WoW, and I got a lot of replies along the lines of, let's see how it is in a few weeks, or I'm waiting for a few
Bro,
patches.
this is always copium Andes. People that quit WoW to play Final Fantasy or Lost Ark or something, they're like, oh, you're gonna see. Oh, you're gonna see whenever the game is bad. Yeah, you'll know. Haters gonna hate? Yeah, exactly, man. It's so fucking annoying. I hate it.
To jump in once the honeymoon period
They're not
is
even the truth is, they're not even saying that to him. They're saying it to themselves.
over. With MMOs, especially theme park MMOs like WoW, where the game is only really as big as its latest content patch,
Yep.
I don't really see the benefit of waiting for future updates before jumping into the game. I feel like that approach causes you to miss out on all of the fun stuff. MMOs are always
The beginning of an MMO is always fun.
fun either at launch or at the start of a big update. Everyone running around the world, doing
Yep.
stuff together, learning new bosses, figuring out the best way to gear up, and so on. If you wait until everyone universally agrees that an expansion is good before joining, then you've already
You'll wait until the last patch of the expansion, or maybe the pre-patch of the future expansion. You resub, oh, the game's good now, and then the new expansion comes out, and it's bad again. There you go.
missed out on the most fun time period of that game. Waiting for reviews is smart for single player games, but for MMOs, which are always fun for at least a few days at launch, I think you're missing out.
Bro, what the fuck? I swear to God, they're doing some sort of like, they have like Indian clothes on or something like that, or like Native American clothes on, and they're doing some sort of fucking, there's like a bunch of people, I'm not gonna show you guys, it's in like the street. They're doing this like weird fucking thing in the middle of the fucking yard, in the middle of the street. What is this? Only in Austin? Bro, I think that's fine. Yeah, it's okay with me. Oh my God. Let's call the parade? No. Show a ceremony on game? Probably a wedding? Maybe.
By waiting. Will Dragonflight have some dog shit
Yeah,
patch
I don't
later
care.
on that makes the game unfun?
Could be a bit
Probably,
annoying, but that's it.
the game is fun now, which is all that matters.
Yeah,
Enjoy
exactly.
it whilst it lasts, and when it stops being fun, go play something else,
Imagine that. Not playing a game whenever it's not fun.
or go grind strength XP IRL.
Oh, shit.
Simple as that. But that's it for this video, guys. As always, let me know
Notorious
your
extra
thoughts
five.
on WoW Dragonflight in the comments below. Did you also decide to return for this expansion? What's your pros and cons for it so far? Social media on screen. My editor recently made a Lazy Peon Clips channel on YouTube, so go subscribe to that.
Smart.
Help us
Very
out with a
smart.
like for the algorithm gods, and I'll see you in the next one.
It's a good video. I think that was pretty fair. Yeah, everybody's been pretty positive so far about Dragonflight, and I'll be honest, I'm not surprised. I think that it's a great thing, and I hope that the expansion continues to like add in more content that's actually just fun to play without making you feel like you have to log on or you have to do certain things, because that's what the real problem is.